People said the house was empty. No child had lived there for the past 50 years. But every night, the new owners heard laughter and the soft patter of tiny feet from the attic. Before starting the story, if you like the story, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's start the story. Emily and David were searching for a fresh start. After a heartbreaking miscarriage, silence and distance had cracked their once warm relationship. They needed peace. Somewhere quiet where they could heal and rebuild. So when a real estate agent offered them a beautiful but old Victorian house at a surprisingly low price, they didn't ask many questions. They simply took the deal. The house stood lonely at the edge of a dense forest. The rusty swing in the front yard creaked eerily in the cold October wind, but Emily loved it immediately. "It could be our new home," she said softly. On a gray, heavy morning, they moved in, and that very night, the house began to whisper. They both hear voiced laughter nursery area. At first, they thought it was just the wind. Old houses have their own language, David shrugged. But on the fourth night, Emily woke abruptly. Above their bed, she heard it, a child's soft giggle. She shook David awake. "Did you hear that?" "Hear what?" he mumbled sleepily. "The little girl's laughter from upstairs." David only sighed. "There's no one around for miles." Still, they searched the house thoroughly. They found nothing, only an abandoned nursery room, some sealed boxes, and the attic door nailed shut above the stairs. One afternoon, Emily was putting groceries away when she heard it again. The light pattering of running feet above her. The attic. She froze, listening. Another burst of giggles as if someone was playing behind her. Slowly she turned. No one was there, but in the thick dust on the floor she saw them. Tiny barefoot footprints. David refused to believe her. "Dust plays tricks on old floors," he said. But that night, Emily locked their bedroom door and kept the lights on. The next morning, Emily found something on the fridge, a child's drawing, stuck with a magnet. It showed a little girl with long black hair holding hands with a woman. The woman looked exactly like Emily. At the top, scrawled in a child's shaky handwriting, was a single word, "Mommy." Emily's face drained of color. David laughed it off. Maybe some local kid got in. But there were no children anywhere nearby. That night, from the air vent, they heard a soft lullaby, hummed by an invisible voice. The next day, Emily decided she had to know. She pried the nails from the attic door. A dark staircase led upward, swallowed in shadows. With a flashlight trembling in her hand, she climbed. In the attic, untouched by time, was a child's tea set, still arranged as if someone had just been there. On the far wall, clawed into the wood again and again with broken nails, were desperate words, "She won't let me leave." That night, Emily saw her. In the mirror, a tiny girl, barefoot, skin ghostly pale, black hollow eyes, staring. Emily spun around, but the room was empty. In the mirror, the girl smiled sweetly and whispered, "Mommy." Emily sought help. She met an old local historian who, upon seeing the child's drawing, gasped. "This house once belonged to the Whitmore family," she said gravely. "Their daughter Annabelle disappeared in 1972. Neither she nor her mother were ever seen again." Emily's heart raced. Some say Annabelle is still searching for a mother. David began to change. There was a new coldness in his eyes, something alien. One night, Emily found him in the attic, speaking into the darkness. "She's perfect. She just needs a mommy." That night, Emily dreamt she was standing in the nursery. There stood Annabelle, her arms stretched out, clutching a doll. "Will you be my mommy?" she asked. Emily shook her head. Annabelle's face twisted. Her eyes turned completely black. "You promised when you came here," she hissed. Emily awoke screaming. Beside her pillow lay the same doll, dripping with blood. Terrified, Emily packed hurriedly and fled. But no matter which road she took, they all twisted back to the same house. In the rearview mirror of her car, she saw Annabelle's smiling face. Before she could scream, the car veered off the road, straight into a tree. When Emily woke, she was back in bed. David stood over her, smiling strangely. "You can't leave her," he whispered. Emily had one plan left. She doused the attic in gasoline. "It all ends tonight," she said, striking a match. The attic roared into flames, but as the fire consumed the wood, the world slowed, as if the house itself was holding its breath. For a moment, the fire danced like laughing children. Then, everything went still. 1 month later, the house was sold again. A young couple moved in. The wife was heavily pregnant. "This place feels so warm," she said, smiling. That night, on the fridge, they found a child's drawing, a woman holding hands with a little girl. Above it, written in a shaky hand, "Mommy, some houses don't need walls to trap you. All they need is a lonely heart. And some little girls never stop looking for a mother."